Panholzer, Lineker Rodriguez dos Santos, Taimo Okiyoshi, Pablo Simon, Alex Bamford, Alexander Vukovic, and Maslas. He's not going to be able to play tonight for Marshall. As you see, ball bounced around, volleyed around, tried to be played on by JMU, and the left foot on a bouncing ball. Mary's game, excuse me. Ball crossed into the 18, high in the air, and over and past the head of Lilan. As
places like that, and they're going to make you feel like one of their own.
Marshall patient with it along the back. JMU is going to play a little bit of a high press this evening. That's how this JMU team has played pretty much all year. Evan Southern takes it away from Ryan Holmes, and now a shot on goal knocked away by Marshall. Picked right back up by JMU, and the Dukes put it in. Evan Southern gets the goal for JMU, his first of the year, and the Dukes take the early 1-0 lead over the Herd.
Well, Marshall absolutely, as I mentioned earlier, couldn't afford any turnovers with a high press like that the Dukes are playing, and they paid the price for it. And it looks like there still is a Herd player down at the very top of the 18-yard box there where that ball was initially turned over. Marshall players all surrounding the referee, unhappy with some of the play that happened there that led to that goal.
Yeah, Ryan Holmes, I believe, is the player down for Marshall. If you take a look at it again, top of the 18 there, ball bouncing around. So you see there's Southern. This was a little bit earlier, I believe. You just kind of look, and now heading it down out of the air is Fujita. Fujita near side for Pinto. Pinto's going to cross. He will. Deflected out of the ball into the middle for Simone. Simone tries to lay it off, but no one home. Now Marshall picks it right back up. Right to the right foot of Simone, takes the shot, and bouncing off the hands of the settle. Had the left foot, didn't go with it. Now Sordo leaves it off for Rodriguez dos Santos. Ball bouncing around. Herd tries to possess, can't do so. Goes off of JMU, or excuse me, off of Marshall. It'll be a JMU goal kick. A player went down for the Herd in the box. No call from our official. And really, if you take a look at it again, there goes Simone goes down. The ball.
But also great to have Nick's dad in town for that.
Ball played down the near side for Evan Southern. Vukovic in heat, and Southern tries to cross. Really no wrestling for position, and JMU will come away with it. Up ahead, Josiah Blanton. Marshall bench wants a handball. Blanton sprinting towards the keeper. Rose diving to the ground. Played around. And that'll end the first half here in Huntington. JMU gets a goal from Evan Southern as the Dukes, number 10 in the country, trying to upset number 5 Marshall at the University of Charleston prior. They continued to build a relationship that has progressed long into what has become now the 8th year. His 4th start. Ray chips it into the 18, ball headed out of the air off of a couple heads, still bouncing around, whiffing on the shot is Lilan. Now he does get the outside of his. Okiyoshi will send the corner in. Okiyoshi serves it in, back post, nobody home. Fujita plays it quickly, but realized he had no help, and instead Marshall will build. Turned over in the back on a slipped defender, and Josiah Blanton picks it up and scores the second goal of the match for JMU. As Tiago Apolinario fell down, Blanton takes advantage, his second goal of the year, and JMU is up 2 on Marshall with 34:03 to play.
I'm inclined to say that James Madison certainly played a nice football match so far, but Marshall has beat themselves at this point with the 2 goals they've given up.
That time, Apolinario the ball got played back to him, and he just slipped. And Blanton was right there, and Blanton sends it right through the legs of Rose for Marshall. Ball played up ahead for Sonny Kong. Sonny Kong overlapping room with Panholzer. Panholzer inside the 18. Marshall crosses. Nobody home. Silva gets there. Silva takes the left foot, rolling around off a defender and in. Marco Silva gets the Marshall goal. It is 2-1 now with just 20 minutes to play in the contest, and the Herd is alive.
Well, that was what Marshall needed. They got some space over there on the left side with Sonny Kong and Panholzer able to feed it back in. The initial deflection was made in the box by James Madison, was very nice, but then Marshall was able to recover and put the ball in the net. And that's one of the scramble type goals that you have to have. when you are down and facing such a tough defense. Here's another look at it, and actually goes off a defender.
Finds the winner in that one to win 2-1. Fujita top of the 18. Fujita strike just goes over the top of the net. And it'll leave us at 2 into the Marshall attack, but now the Herd turns it over. Larson chips it into the box. There's 2 players there for, or 1 for each. Polinario came on earlier. Sonny Kong into the middle for Rodriguez dos Santos. 1 touch. Rodriguez dos Santos has it deflected by the keeper, Conlon. And then he tries to get a shot again, and JMU tips it out. And it'll be a Equalizer. Okiyoshi, short corner to Panholzer. Panholzer cuts back, chips it in right into the center of the pitch, headed out of the air. And I think it was Fujita who got. Marshall's just got to find some space. But to your point, just as far back as JMU is playing, it's going to make it very difficult for the Herd. Top of the 18, Okiyoshi into the box. Offsides was Marshall as the flag went up. Gadar in the middle. Now Marshall to Okiyoshi, back to Sonny Kong. Sonny Kong up ahead, looking for Rodriguez dos Santos. Great defense from Josiah Blanton. The 6-1 defending. When chipped back beyond the last line of defense, off his line, way off his line is Conlon.
And a page out of that book right there as well.
Fujita up ahead. Rodriguez dos Santos rolls it past to Fujita. Marshall has a chance. Rodriguez dos Santos turning, taking the shot, but they called a penalty kick. The referee has awarded a penalty kick to Marshall after the play inside the 18, I believe.
Well, it was almost all for naught, because that was a great effort for Rodriguez dos Santos to put it just wide of the frame before it went wide.
The Marshall bench was celebrating. Now I think there's some question.
Well, it looks like, who's that? Fujita, it might be down over on the far side as well.
Yeah, that's Takahiro Fujita. Want to confirm here. Yeah, they're going to put the ball in the PK spot as Fujita went down. They're going to put the ball in the PK spot.
Well, they really could have given 2 penalties on that, because it looks like Rodriguez dos Santos was kind of dragged down a little bit, and some heavy contact right there at the spot himself. So if there was any hit between the 2, there's got to be a penalty out of one of them.
For Marshall. Now Taimu Okiyoshi plays it up ahead. Tarek Panholzer's got some green grass. Panholzer crosses for Marshall into the middle. There's Roberto! Roberto! Deflected off of the hands of Conlon! And Joao Roberto, the super sub, comes on and ties the match for Marshall at 2. The Herd finds the equalizer.
Well, what I tell you, he had to use the space that Panholzer creates on that left side. He made a great run there to track down that ball on the end line and get it crossed back into the box to be played on by Roberto. What a nice play by Marshall there.
First goal of the year for Joao Roberto, and Marshall has fought back from down 2-0. You see the ball played in, deflected off of a head. Roberto collects at the top of the 6, and the 5'10" sophomore from Brazil ties it up at 2.
You couldn't ask for much more. And
Roberto did get a yellow. Marshall with the ball at the feet. Amin Sordo, top of the 18, crosses it over. Roberto couldn't quite get there. Turner turns on a defender, near side Nikolai. Nikolai crosses into the box, headed away by Marshall with 10 seconds to play. Player goes down for JMU. Ball rolls across the near side. No foul was called, and the clock's going to run out. Marshall falls behind 2-0, and the Herd gets 2 in the second half. In the last half, or the last quarter of the match.